Welcome to the sixth episode of the What You Need to H2Know podcast, where we feature the people, places, and projects of Ontario's water community. I'm Michele Grenier, the Executive Director of the Ontario Waterworks Association, and I'm excited to kick off our journey by introducing you to one of our OWWA ambassadors. Today we have our guest, Carlos Alonzo Moya. Carlos began his journey in the water sector with a bachelor's degree in environmental engineering from the Instituto Politécnico Nacional in Mexico City, followed by a master's degree in drinking water treatment from the University of Toronto. His professional path has taken him from process design at RV Anderson, where he supported the design and construction of municipal water and wastewater systems, to infrastructure planning at Halton Region. Today, Carlos serves as an engineer with the Strategic Initiatives Planning Team at the City of Toronto, focusing on infrastructure strategies to support growth in key development. Carlos has also been an active member of the OWWA since 2019, when he served as president of the University of Toronto Student Chapter. He joined the Young Professionals Committee in 2020 and now serves as the chair for the 2025-2026 cycle, in addition to leading the Tours and Socials Subcommittee. Wow, busy guy. In this episode, we'll follow his path from international student to engineering professional, explore the challenges and discoveries of starting a career in a new country, and how his academic foundation shaped his work in municipal planning. We'll also dive into his leadership role on the Young Professionals Committee, discuss how early career involvement in professional associations can spark meaningful growth, and reflect on how collaboration, curiosity, and cultural diversity are shaping the future of Ontario's water industry. So whether you're tuning in from the office, on your commute, or out in the field, sit back and get ready to hear from a fresh mind in the industry. Let's dive in. Welcome, Carlos.
Hi, Michele. It's great to be here. I'm very excited.
Good.
How have you been?
I've been good, and you?
I've been doing great. It's a busy day today, but I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to be here with you today.
Well, I always enjoy our chats, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today. And recognizing you do have a really busy schedule, I'll try and keep us on schedule here and on track. So I'm going to dive in with the first question. And so first off, I'd love for you to share a little bit more of an introduction about your early career with our listeners. And so I'll start off by asking you, can you tell us a bit about your background and what led you to pursue a career in environmental engineering and drinking water treatment?
Absolutely. I think I started to be very interested in environmental issues since I was very young. I remember really liking to read about climate change or water scarcity topics. I grew up in an area where the drinking water has high level of arsenic. So I've always been very attuned to what happens when people consume water in poor conditions, right? So there was a lot of cancer in the area where I grew up. So I remember just being very, very attuned to that. So when it was time for me to decide what I was going to study, I found environmental engineering, which had one of the components of the degree was focused on water. So I moved to Mexico City and I started studying environmental engineering. And there I had the opportunity to apply for some cool research internship programs. I did one. The first one I did was in California. That I think was a pivotal moment for me in my career path because I was able to meet some of the closest friends that I have right now, and it also cemented my interest in research. So from there, I found other opportunities to do research internships. The next one I did was at U of T with Professor Ron Hoffman, and I think that that's where everything really started for me in terms of my career in water. I had an amazing experience in that research internship because I participated in a very unique project where I had to take water samples from the lake. So I got to go on boat rides for the summer.
Oh.
so it was really, really nice. And then I kept looking for opportunities to come back. So I spoke with Professor Hoffman and asked him if I could come back for the following summer, and he said yes. So I was ecstatic. And then I expressed my interest in coming to for a master's, and then I kept on following the research that I was doing as a summer student, focusing on zebra and quagga mussel control. So again, I had the experience to go to the lake and to many treatment facilities. So I think I had a very cool experience in that sense. And then it was very exciting then to move into the professional world where I started as a process designer with RV Anderson. I had exposure to many different projects as many consultants do. And I learned so much from there. And then I moved on to planning with Halton Region, where I worked on class environmental assessments and I worked on planning studies, reviewing development applications. And recently I moved to the city of Toronto doing a similar line of work in planning.
Wow, that sounds like quite an adventure. And so you've already hinted at some of the parts of my next question, but I guess can you tell us more about what brought you to Canada and how your experience was when you were working on your master's at U of T?
Yeah, so as I said, I just got very excited after experiencing my summer here, and I enjoyed the research so much, and I like working in the lab and talking to people and being outside. So I really started looking for ways to coming back, and I think that before doing that internship, I didn't really see it as a real possibility that I could be here. But then that really made it clear that there was a path for me to be here. So when I was able to come back, I made the most out of it. I started meeting friends at school, and they were very involved in different activities that they pulled me into. So it just started feeling like a community. So it was really nice. I think I had a very luckily I had a very easy way into coming to Canada. So that was amazing.
Wow, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Um, were there any major turning points or memorable moments in your academic or early career journey that you think shaped where you are today?
Yeah. I think I hinted at this too in one of my previous responses. I the one that really jumps out to me is when I went to California, because that really showed me how much I enjoyed doing research. And the experience itself was amazing. It was the first time I left Mexico. I was experiencing like doing something in a different language for the first time, like research, nonetheless. So it was
Wow.
very overwhelming at moments, but it really led me to where I am today. So I'm very happy about having done that.
Wow. I think most of us can hardly travel in a different language, and so I can't imagine trying to do academic research. Um, on that note, I guess coming from a different country, what was the biggest cultural or professional adjustment you had to make in the Canadian water sector?
I don't know if it's specific to the water sector, but I think it's more like a cultural shock. I think that I don't know about the whole Latin American people, but at least Mexican people are we sugarcoat many things. So I feel that sometimes like North American people are more direct in the way they communicate. So it took me a while to learn that it's not that people are being rude or angry at me, but it's more
Oh,
like it's just the way it is. Yeah,
oh,
like
that's
with
interesting.
emails happen so often that I was like, oh, did I do something wrong here? But no.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I often say that Canadians have to be direct because it's too cold to stand outside and explain.
I agree. I think it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Moving on to well, thank you for sharing that. I'll be more delicate from now on.
No, I'm used to
No,
it now.
I'm teasing. But thinking about your career and your role at City of Toronto, we talked about you're currently part of the Strategic Initiatives Planning team there. And can you tell us more about what that role entails?
Absolutely. So my team focuses on planning the infrastructure needed to support what we call strategic areas, which are pockets of growth in the city that are going to see a lot of intensification in the coming years. So we're talking about areas that are going to have 100,000 people more in the next 10 years. So it's basically preparing for building cities within a city. So it is quite cool to be able to be an engineer in this team because we really need to see how we're going to support that growth. Now that we have pressures from many different sides, like there's a development community, there's a big push from other levels of government to build housing. So we need to make sure that we make these things happen fast, but still we have to plan them accordingly and efficiently so everything works fine.
Oh, wow, that sounds fascinating. I think it's a great opportunity to change how we envision development and how the infrastructure needs to support that approach. So I look forward to hearing more about that. Um, I guess on that note, or maybe on an unrelated note, can you share anything about a recent initiative or project that you've worked on that you're particularly proud of?
Yeah, so I think I'm still fairly new at the city. I haven't completed one of the like any of the planning studies that I'm working on, but the one that makes me most excited is um, we're starting from scratch to plan this development that will have 60,000 people and 20,000 employees. So as I said, it's just like preparing
Wow.
to accommodate 80,000 people in a space where there's zero people right now. So it is very interesting to try to work out the challenges of how we're going to provide them with water and wastewater services, and making sure that in adding 60,000 people, we don't flood the people that are downstream.
Right.
So, so it is quite interesting to be able to try to figure out those challenges and use my abilities to help deliver those projects.
Wow. And leave a mark on your city.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think that that's one of the things that I enjoy the most, that it's that I can contribute to building the city where I live.
Yeah. Oh, neat. And how would you say that your academic focus on drinking water has influenced your current work?
That's a great question. Um, Unfortunately, I haven't been doing a lot of water treatment in my current role, but I think that the abilities that I gained through my research, or my research experience, I have been able to translate some of those abilities to all of the aspects of my professional life. I I am able to look at different reports and try to relate that back to the information or the problems that I'm dealing with. I have had to like write many reports. I've had to communicate to different people and tailor my messages to different audiences to make the communication effective. So I think that those things are things that I started practicing and polishing when I was doing my master's. So I think that that's the way that I've been translating those abilities into my professional experiences.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to recap it. I think soft skills are sometimes more transferable than our technical skills, even if the technical skills are a big part of that foundation, right? And
Yeah,
yeah, so
absolutely.
nice segue into your involvement with the association. And so, can you tell our listeners a bit about what initially drew you to OWWA and how you first got involved?
Yeah. So I was very fortunate that my research group has a very strong standing with OWWA, and they really try to encourage their students to like go to the conferences, participate, be involved in the student chapters. And I think that that was more or less what how things started for me. I saw that some of my closest friends were part of the student chapter, so I started just attending their meetings just as a like dropping in. I was not a member of the student chapter then, but I was just trying to learn and help them because I saw all the cool things they were doing. They were really inviting people to talk. They were organizing like small networking events for students. So there were some very cool initiatives that I really appreciated that were available, and I just wanted to contribute to those ones. And then after I finished, then I saw that I could do the same for the Young Professionals Committee. So I've enjoyed my time there too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think we definitely have to give a shout out to Bob and Susan Andrews and Ron Hoffman at U of T for all of the amazing volunteers that they have, shepherded our way over the years, yourself
Yeah,
included. Yeah, and your friends and colleagues, like you mentioned.
yeah,
So I'm curious to know if some of those initial friends from the student chapter are still in your network on the Young Professionals Committee. And also wondering, as chair of the YPs this year, what are some of your goals for the group?
yeah, yeah. Some of my close friends are still part of the Young Professionals. So it's great to have that continuity of your network and your colleagues and friends being still involved in the same type of event planning and just like contributing to the water community. And yes, as you mentioned, I'm the chair for this year and very excited about it. I think that one of the things that I really want to achieve is making our members' experience very valuable and meaningful. So I really wanna try to help them have like take the most out of the experience as much as they can. So I really want to help them if they want to meet someone in certain areas of the industry or they want to be part of some of the senior committees in OWWA. I'm really going to try my best to help them in that way. And another one is that one of our subcommittees, the professional development subcommittee, has been in a hiatus for a little while. So I really want to make it my mission to restart it because I do see the value in sharing information with young professionals about
Yeah.
professional development.
Oh, well, I think that's great. It's amazing for me to track how many board members we have within OWWA who got their start with the YPs. And so I think, like you said, restarting that subcommittee is an important part of the work you do. And I guess on that note, I'd love to get your opinion on how do you think the YP committee is helping to shape the future of the water industry in Ontario, and I guess of the association itself too.
Yeah, so I think that the role of the YPs is kind of twofold. So on one side, we help in providing some continuity in terms of like providing to the membership. Like we are members of OWWA, and we're probably going to continue being members for a long time. We also like contributing in assisting with seminars, or we lead some of the networking events. So I think we help continue that sense of camaraderie or community within the water industry. So I think that's a very important job. And at the same time, we also try to look for ways to empower or uplift other young professionals so that they know that they can also have a voice in this very welcoming community. We have initiatives like the Fresh Ideas competition in the conference where we encourage first-time presenters just to share what they've been working on, their research, or if they're working part of their projects, whatever it is. So we just want to make sure that everyone feels welcome, and I think that that's a great way to contribute to this great community.
Yeah, I think, yeah, so much good work being done by the group, and so thank you for that. We really appreciate it. And a couple of questions for you. So again, a little more personal, but have you faced any challenges as a young or international professional in our industry? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Mm, I don't know if um, one of them is more personal, and I think it's just about sometimes I get self-conscious about my English because I sometimes need to translate things in my head, or sometimes the things that I want to say don't really come out well. So I think that that's something that I'm still working on. Yeah. And in terms of more a professional way, I think that one of the most challenging things that I had to do for work was being in a construction site for a year. Um, I I'm very grateful that I had that experience because I learned a lot, but it definitely can feel very overwhelming,
Yeah.
especially at first when you don't know about construction.
It's intimidating.
Um, it is intimidating, and I think it is very evident for everyone on site that you are not well versed on whatever they're doing. I remember very vividly that I would go around and try to talk to the people working there, and they were telling me what they were doing, and I still wouldn't understand what they were doing. So I would just go back to the trailer and Google what is blah blah blah, and then yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
But it was challenging, and also there's like the part of well talking to many people, the contractor, the subcontractors, the client, your peers at the consulting firm. So
Yeah. But what a
yeah,
great learning experience.
it was.
Yeah. And as an aside, I don't think you need to be self-conscious about your English.
No.
It's better than if any of us are trying to speak Spanish, it would be horrendous. And so I think you're
Great.
doing just fine.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, and my next question is, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting out in the water sector and considering joining OWWA?
I think it's going to sound a little bit cliche, but I think it's very real. I think that they should just not be afraid to reach out to people out of the blue. What I've experienced is that everyone in this community is very welcoming and very willing to share their experiences or guide people or introduce them to other people that might be that might know something that the new member wants to learn about. So I think that it is very important for everyone just to really try to leave those fears aside and reach out to people. And we in the Young Professionals Committee where we organize some of the networking events where we try to make it easier for people to network in a casual environment where there's not a lot of pressure, there's no expectations for anything to happen, so everyone is very relaxed, and we try to create ice-breaking dynamics so that people can just walk around and try to meet as many people as they can. So I think that's the advice I would give everyone, and obviously to participate in committees or like I think it's just a great community and it's great to help keep it alive.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we have to shout out the fall meet and greet here, which is on September 25th. So
That's right.
if you're listening right now, everyone, go to OWWA.ca and click on the events page. You can still buy your tickets there. And my last sort of work-related question before we do some of the fun, like rapid fire questions, I'll say, is looking ahead. What excites you most about the future of your career and the contributions I know you're going to make in the water industry here in Ontario?
I think that one of the things that makes me the most excited is seeing all the different challenges that we're seeing right now and how they're going to be progressing. There's so much going on right now. Like as I was talking about, many like development pressures. We're trying to get more people into our cities. There's climate change. There's emerging contaminants. There is a lot of things that we need to keep considering. So I'm very excited to see how the industry keeps up with all those changes and how all these amazing people can help address all those problems and situations that are arising.
Wow. I really appreciate your optimism there because sometimes it can feel overwhelming. And so I'm gonna re-challenge myself to see it as an opportunity as well. Okay, so now the fun stuff. This is the get to know Carlos part. Is outside of your work with OWWA and work itself, what are some of your hobbies or interests?
I really like spending time with my dogs. I have two dogs, so I like taking them out for walks, and I really like seeing them play in the dog park. So that's a great summer activity, not so much in the winter.
True.
But yeah, and aside from that, I've recently been getting a lot into beer. I took a couple of courses at George Brown College on beer.
Oh,
So
neat.
one of them, yeah, they're amazing. One of them is to learn about the different styles of beer and the history of how beer was developed in different countries and like how the different styles progressed through history. And the second one was more about the ingredients themselves and seeing like how they contribute to the flavor profile of the beer. So it's great to be able to try to play with those things, saying like, oh, if I add this ingredient at this time, it's going to change the beer this way. So there's a lot of opportunities to be a nerd there too. So
Yeah. I
I
also
like that.
attempted brewing my own beer at home once. It was a
Yeah.
kit, and I would say like mixed success. But you know, do you have a favorite beer?
Hmm. I think it really changes depending on the time of the year, but I really like dark, strong beers,
Yep.
especially the Trappist beers by Belgian monks are my favorites.
Oh, okay.
Very strong, yeah.
Oh, neat. I'm gonna do another look. The brewery that is the closest to the OWWA office is the Old Credit Brewing. It's a small family-owned brewery just on Mississauga Road, and they do an amber ale that is one of my favorites.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, perfect. I'll have to try it sometime.
Well, yeah, we'll have to have a beer meeting.
Yeah,
And
looking forward to it.
yeah. So, okay, aside from being a master brewer, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Oof. I hope it doesn't sound too mundane, but I would like to teleport anywhere. I
Oh,
really hate commuting, and I love traveling, but I don't like the process of being in an airplane and all of those things. So I think it would be
that's a good
amazing to
choice.
be able to just be anywhere at any time.
Yeah, excellent choice. Um, can you tell us, is there anyone who's been a significant influence or mentor in your life?
Yeah, I think that that's something great about the water community is that it's so welcoming that you can choose many people to answer this question. So one of the like the one of the biggest one I would have to say that it's my supervisor from my master's degree, Dr. Ron Hoffman. I really want to give a shout out to him because even after I graduated, I reach out to him with questions sometimes, and he's always very willing to help me or connect me with people. And he's been very I don't know, like thoughtful maybe in the way he really tries to encourage me and lift me up. So that's great. Um, Someone else that I would like to give a shout out to is Kate Connell. She used to be my supervisor at Halton Region. Um, and same, I've even after we both stopped working at Halton Region, we keep in touch, and she's been really a great person that I can bounce ideas off of, and she's always very willing to talk. And finally, I would say many of my colleagues and peers. I don't know if they count as mentorship or the helpless guiding the clueless, but it's also great to be able to talk to people more or less in your same level to see how you figure out things together.
I love that answer. That's great. Shout out to all the helpless and clueless who are helping each other. I mean,
Yes.
yeah. And last question for you today is, do you have a favorite book, podcast, or movie that you'd recommend to a friend or colleague?
Yeah, I really like a podcast called No Such Thing as a Fish. It's British and it's about comedy and it's comedy and nerdiness because it's about
Okay.
there's four people leading the podcast and each one of them brings a fact, a very obscure little known fact, and then they start talking about things surrounding that fact, giving more useless trivia, but in a very funny and comical way. So it's a podcast that I really enjoy.
Okay.
And a TV show that I really like is called La Casa de las Flores. It's in Netflix, and I really like it because it came out during COVID, and it was full of Mexican pop culture. So it really made me
Okay.
feel very connected to back home.
Oh, wow. Okay, so no such thing as a fish
Hmm.
and La Casa de las Flores.
That's correct. Yeah,
Okay. I'll have to, well, I'll have to check those out.
absolutely.
Well, that's all my questions for today, Carlos. And I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know it can be a little bit daunting at first, and but I'm so glad that our listeners will now have a chance to get to know you a little bit better. And if any of you find yourselves in a similar situation to Carlos, being either new to the water industry, regardless of where you came from, then be sure to check out our YP committee and all of their fall events, which are all on the website again at OWWA.ca. And I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying the two W's today, but yeah, definitely check out the website and the calendar of events, and we hope to see you at the meet and greet in a couple weeks. So thanks, Carlos. I really enjoyed our chat, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. I really enjoyed being here too. Have a great day too.
Good. Okay, we'll talk soon.